Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at you today on Thursday, April 16th. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am already sweating before the show has even started. One, because it's hot in my room. And two, during the Just Chatting segment, that's right, we do go live 30 minutes before the podcast actually goes live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. I was busy arguing with some of my audience about Pistons basketball and playoff basketball and, proving a lot of their opinions wrong. And that's why I'm a little bit hot. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope your basketball team won last night. If they didn't, don't worry. This is a safe space. Clippers, I'm talking to y'all. Magic, I'm talking to y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today, you guys already know what we're going to be doing in today's episode. First, we are going to be breaking down the two games from last night, the Clippers and Warriors, and the Magic and 76ers. Now, I've been debating back and forth about what game I want to start with. I think I'm going to let the podcast, the live crew, dictate which game we're going to speak about first, okay? I'm looking at you guys right now. Now's the time to let me know. Are we going to be talking about the Warriors and Clippers or the Magic and 76ers first? Now, after that, we are going to be previewing the tomorrow night's matchup of, well, I don't want to spoil it in case you guys didn't watch. So we are going to be previewing the final play-in games at the end of today's podcast, as well as we're going to be ending it with the stud of the night from last night. And of course, I let you guys know this yesterday, but for tomorrow's episode, we are going to be previewing every single round in the playoffs. And then obviously the first seed still won't know the matchup by tomorrow morning. So we will be discussing all of them, including that tomorrow. Okay. So if you guys want to hear my preview on Raptors, Cavs, Celtics, 76ers, Spurs, who are they playing? Blazers, Rockets, Lakers. If you guys, Nuggets, Timberwolves, if you guys want to know what I believe of those series, I'm going to predict them. I'm going to break them down. I'm going to be talking about X factors. We will be doing that all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. All right, podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. I appreciate everybody for tuning in as always. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal start to your day. YouTube chat, TikTok chat, be sure to drop some likes, follows, do all that jazz, and enjoy the show. That's my most important thing. I want you guys to have fun and relax and kick back. And Twitch chat, you guys already know, y'all got the easiest job in the whole entire world. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee and energy drink, and enjoy the show. I'm looking at what everybody's saying in the Twitch chat, and it looks like everybody wants me to talk about the Magic 76ers first. So that's what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, first game up, the 76ers claim the 7th seed and clown the Orlando Magic last night in an absolute, oh man, this game was ugly. If you guys watched it, this game was ugly, and it all starts with the number 1 pick, Paolo Banchero. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 6 free throws. He played 36 minutes. He was a minus 17 on the court, and he shot 31.8% from the field, 7 for 22 from the field, and 0 for 5 from 3. Don't worry, it gets worse. He also had 6 turnovers. Now, you guys are probably wondering, wow, that's a bad game. Surely that was his only, that was the worst game of his season. And while you might be right, it gets even scarier. There have been 7 games in the NBA this entire season in which a player missed 15 plus shots, had 6 plus turnovers, and posted a true shooting below 45%. Paolo Banchero just did this in back-to-back games. That's right. Against the Celtics B team, when they lost, he posted up these same stats. And then last night, in a must-win game against the Philadelphia 76ers without Embiid, he managed to put that same stat line up yet again. Now, this gets scarier the more you look at this stat line, ladies and gentlemen. It gets scarier the more you look at it. And Nate, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Same with you, Nick. I appreciate you guys very, very much. We got to talk about this, okay? Paolo Banchero was not just 7 for 22 from the field and 0 for 5 from 3 with 6 turnovers. Not just that. He was 0 for 10 on all jump shots, period. All jump shots, period. He was, 1 for 10. Or was he 0 for 10? I think he was 0 for 10. 0 for 10. And then he was also 6 for 12 in the paint. So this game right here, watching Paolo Banchero, watching Franz Wagner, and I'm going to give Franz a bit of a pass just because he was hurt. We got to talk about this, man. I said going into this game that the only way I see the Magic competing is if Desmond Bane goes off for 30 plus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was right. Desmond Bane, 40 minutes. He dropped 34 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He was 10 for 16 from the field and 4 for 16 from 3, 10 for 11 from the free throw line. So I was right. He went for 30 plus. But the unfortunate part is, I said with Jalen Suggs having a brain full of rocks, in 37 minutes, Jalen Suggs managed to get 4 points, and he shot 1 for 9 from the field. 1 for 9 from the field. I need you guys to hear me. 1 for 9 from the field. How is this possible? How can this continue happening? Why? Why did you give this man so much money? Why? Wendell Carter Jr., their starting center that they paid. 5 points. 1 for 7 from the field. 1 for 7, ladies and gentlemen. Off the bench, Anthony Black, 4 for 8. Jamal Cain, 2 for 5. Nobody else played other than Da Silva and Goga. Yeah, man, this all starts with your 2 max players. And you know what's the kicker? Paolo Banchero's max hasn't even hit yet. Your star player went out there and shot 0 for 10 from the field from jump shots. Franz Wagner, I'll give him a little bit of a break just because he's coming off of injury. But he was 0 for 2 from 3 and 5 for 11 from the field. And when you have 2 guys that are your max players and they can't shoot, this is not a recipe for success, ladies and gentlemen. On top of that, a guy that they're paying like $15 million a year, Jonathan Isaac, you're just reverting to not play. So when I've talked about the Orlando Magic this year, in case you guys don't know, the Magic are not out. They are not out. They have a do or die situation against the Charlotte Hornets. But when Worldwide Wob puts out a tweet, quote, "We're getting to the point with Paolo Banchero's jumper that courtside fans may need to sign an injury liability waiver." This is bad, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your reputation, this is bad. This is very, very bad. And they should have fired Jamal Mosley 3 weeks into the season. They should have. But they gave him the benefit of the doubt. They said, maybe we can get it to work. He was with us through thick. Let's try to be with him through thin. Let's try it. Okay? And ultimately, this is what happens when you believe in your coach. Listen, man, everybody that's campaigning for Jamal Mosley to get fired, I agree with you. I agree. But firing Jamal Mosley is not going to just magically allow your 2-star players to shoot. That's not what's going to happen. So I said weeks ago, months ago, I've said this multiple times. They are going to have to make a decision by the next trade deadline on who they want to build around. Paolo Banchero or Franz Wagner. I think we all know they're going to side with Paolo. But I might be wrong. And I always admit when I'm wrong. But this time I'm sort of wrong for the wrong reasons. I'm wrong because they're going to be shopping Franz Wagner this summer. And like I said, they're going to be shopping both of them, but I do not believe that they have the balls. I do not believe they have the cojones to trade Paolo Banchero. I don't. And on top of that contract, whoever they trade, they're going to lose that trade. If they're going to trade Paolo, they're going to lose that trade because they're going to take $240 million. If they trade Franz, they're going to lose that trade because he hasn't been healthy in 2 years. If they trade Wendell Carter Jr., they're going to lose that trade because his contract is too much for a backup big. If they trade Jalen Suggs, they're going to lose that trade because Jalen Suggs is not worth his contract. If they're going to trade Jonathan Isaac, they're going to lose that trade because of his contract. So as you guys just heard, their top 4 salary guys, top 5 salary guys, they are going to lose the trade no matter what. And I hate bringing this website up, but we got to bring it up again, ladies and gentlemen, because no matter how many times I hammer this into your brains, you guys just do not hear me. They are 3rd in payroll next season. 3rd in payroll. Franz Wagner next season is going to be making $42 million. Desmond Bane, who they traded their entire future for, who's been their best player all year, is going to be making $40 million next year. Jalen Suggs, who has a bag full of rocks in his head, is going to be making $32 million next year. Paolo Banchero's max contract kicks in next year at $41.5 million. Jonathan Isaac, who doesn't even play, is going to be making $14.5 million for the next 3 years. Wendell Carter Jr. is going to be making $18 million next year. Goga Bitadze is going to be making $8 million next year. I don't know how much I've talked about this team this year, but overall, ladies and gentlemen, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. We'll be previewing the Hornets Magic later on in today's show. Let's move on to the 76ers because you guys know I love giving credit where credit is due. The 76ers didn't even have that good of a game. Can my 76ers fans stand up and agree with me? They didn't have a good game. According to how they've been winning this year, they did not have a good game to their standards. They shot 34% from deep. They only hit 12 threes. They average like 15 a game. Kelly Oubre gave you an average Kelly Oubre game. He shot 50%, 19 points. Paul George didn't have a good game, 6 for 16. In fact, he was 1 for 6 from deep when he's been on fire. Adem Bona did not have a good game, and that's why Andre Drummond ended up playing 31 minutes, who actually had, in my opinion, the best game out of anybody not named Tyrese Maxey. And you can argue with a wall if you disagree with me. VJ Edgecombe had a really good game for what a rookie can do in a play-in game. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds, 7 for 16 from the field, but he was only 1 for 5 from deep. I thought it was a great showing from a rookie when you compare it to the other rookie that had a showing 2 nights ago in Con Knipple. Tyrese Maxey, 31. He didn't even have a good game. He had a bad game. He had a bad game. His legs were tired. And you know what? I told you that this would happen. Tyrese Maxey, I talked about it yesterday, even though he missed 2 to 3 weeks due to that wrist injury, he still played the most minutes out of any player in the entire NBA. Even with missing 3 weeks in the season, he still played the most minutes out of any player in the NBA. I don't think people truly realize what kind of toll that takes on a ball-dominant guard. And we've been seeing it for the last few games. We've been seeing it for the last few weeks as well. He has played the most minutes out of any player in the entire league. The most minutes in a season by one player since Monte Ellis 15 years ago. Let that sink in. Most minutes played by one player in a season since Monte freaking Ellis 15 years ago. And I don't think that's going to hold up in the first round, especially without Embiid. But he was 11 for 25 from the field and 3 for 9 from deep. That's not a good Maxey game. It's not. Andre Drummond off the bench saved this team. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, 2 assists, looking like point Drummond, 3 steals, 3 blocks. He was a 5 for 8 from the field, and he hit the dagger 3 to put the Magic away. When Andre Drummond is hitting a dagger 3, bro, he hit 2 of them last night. When he hits a dagger 3, bro, Andre Drummond, somebody who rooted for Andre Drummond for 10 years, he had more than Con Knipple in the play-in game. He had more than Con Knipple. Yeah, Quentin Grimes didn't have a good game. Barlow didn't have a good game. Andre Drummond, Tyrese Maxey. That was the story of this basketball game, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers for claiming their stake in the 7th seed. Their first round matchup will be against the Boston Celtics, who will break down tomorrow in tomorrow's episode when we're breaking down all of the series. Okay? The Philadelphia 76ers did their thing, but I think my 76ers fans will agree with me when I say this. And I hate this line. You guys know I hate this line. I hate it so damn much, but I got to say it. Are you ready? Oh, God, I hate it. I'm cringing just from thinking of saying it, but I'm going to say it. So everybody just hold on to your hearts. The Orlando Magic lost this game more than the Philadelphia 76ers won this game. I'm cringing. My insides are squirming right now. I'm sorry for saying it, but it's true. It's true. The Orlando Magic looked so bad. They looked so bad. They have given up on this season. They've given up on the teamwork. They've given up on everything. In fact, oh man, we got to talk about the Hornets Magic later on in the episode. We are going to. The 76ers did their thing. I don't want you to think that I hate the Sixers. I don't at all. I like the Sixers. I love Maxey. Hell, bro, the only guy I don't like on the Sixers is Embiid, and that's because of what he did to you guys for all these past 10 years. The Magic did not have a good game. the Magic did not have a good game. And we'll be talking about the Magic later on because we're going to be, their season's not over, so I don't want to talk about them too long. Okay? We'll be discussing the Magic again later. They quit on their coach. They quit on their team. They quit on their city. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And my one Magic fan in my Twitch stream, speaking of which, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. Protein plug, I see you enjoying the stream over there. You would enjoy it so much more in the Twitch stream. If you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription so you don't get ads on Twitch. Come through. It's a much better viewing experience, much better community oriented. I'd love to have you guys over here in the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. According to Magic fans, it's all a part of their plan because they're going to beat the Pistons. From what they're saying, it's all part of their plan, man. Let's move on to our next. Game from last night. And I'd love to see more of you guys come through to the Twitch stream from the TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Welcome on back. And remember, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription so you no longer get ads. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the Warriors-Clippers game. The Warriors move on and eliminate the Los Angeles Clippers, 126-121. Now, we got to talk about this game, ladies and gents. We got to talk about this game, man. We got to talk about it, bro. First and foremost, I'm just going to say some names, all right? I'm going to just say some names, okay? I'm just going to say some freaking names. Draymond Green. Turn back the clock, baby. Turn back the clock. Limiting Kawhi Leonard to 2 points in the entire fourth quarter. If you guys watched, Kevin Harlan said this one specific line, maybe with 2 minutes left. I'm going to quote Kevin Harlan, and I'm going to try to do an impression of him as well. Kawhi Leonard in a straitjacket. I can't do Kevin Harlan, but that's my best. I think it's more nasally than that. And I think that tells the full story. Kawhi Leonard was in a straitjacket. Kawhi Leonard was actively getting boxed by Draymond Green in the big 2026. Got boxed by Draymond Green. So shout out Dre. Let's move on to another name. Al freaking Horford. Big Al, the second oldest player in the NBA. The second oldest player in the NBA. He hit 4 clutch threes in the fourth quarter. 4 threes in the fourth quarter. Was that Klay Thompson or Al Horford? Unbelievable. Let's throw another name out there, man. Tingus Pingus. You know what? I got to call him his real name. Kristaps Porzingis, the OG unicorn. Where were you when they said a unicorn got drafted to Madison Square Garden? Not Wembanyama. A unicorn in Kristaps Porzingis. Unbelievable game. The best Tingus Pingus game I've seen in years. Like efficiency, knowing his role and what to do. He had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks, bro. He was 8 for 12 from the field, man. Let's go over a couple other important names. CQ Shout and Super Gecko. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's a much better viewing experience over here, y'all. I appreciate it. Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to join the Discord while you're here. And remember, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription so you no longer get ads. I got to give another name, man. Guy Santos. Unbelievable game. What a game. 9 for 13, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Everybody was hooping, man. Everybody. Even Pods. 5 for 11, 2 for 7 from deep, but he had 17 points, 7 rebounds, man. What a game. What a game. And can you believe it? We haven't even said Steph Curry yet. We have not said Steph Curry yet. 36 minutes, 35 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, 12 for 23 from the field, and 7 for 12 from downtown. Wow. Chat, what is there to say? This game was incredibly entertaining. The Warriors hit 19 threes as a team. The Clippers collapsed. The Clippers were up, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, they were up 13 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they were up 13 in the fourth quarter. And then the Warriors rattled off a 14-2 run. Come on, man. Come on. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And you know, if they make the playoffs, cool. 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 If they beat the Suns, cool. I know Suns fans are going to be livid. What's that one guy name on Twitter? Browadis. He's that one Suns fan. He's livid that his team was the 7th seed all season, and now he's got to play for his life right now in this game against the Warriors. The Warriors did their thing, man. Do I see Al Horford hitting 4 threes in another game? No, I don't. I don't see it. I don't see Al Horford hitting 4 threes in another game. Do I see Tingus Pingus shooting that well from the field? I don't see that either. Do I see Guy Santos shooting that well from the field? I don't see that either. It's going to be weird, man. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird because I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of this. Was this just a good, fun game to go out? Or can they do it again against the Suns? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the Suns here in a bit. We're going to be talking about that matchup. 007, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you very, very much. Again, shout out to everybody leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate y'all very, very much. Let's talk about the Clippers side of things, man. Like I said, Kawhi Leonard only had 2 points in the entire fourth quarter. 2. They had 2 points. He had 2 points. That's it. Kawhi Leonard had 21.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 for 17 from the field, 5 turnovers, and they're out. They're eliminated. I got to give a shout out to Benedict Mathurin. He did his thing, 7 for 11, 23 points off the bench. Poor Brook Lopez. If you guys watch this game, Brook Lopez got scored on, I think the final 15 shots that the Warriors made. Whether it was Al Horford making a shot over him or Steph Curry making a shot over him. And you know what? I see the TikTok saying that bro doesn't know about Big Al. I know a lot about Al Horford. I just don't see Al Horford now hitting 4 more threes against the Phoenix Suns or against the Thunder. I'm sorry for recognizing defense. The Clippers didn't play defense all year. And you know what's a bit ironic about this matchup, ladies and gentlemen? The Clippers are the oldest team in the NBA, right? In history. They're the oldest team in the history of the NBA. And they just lost to the 2 oldest players in the NBA. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That is very, very tough. But Brook Lopez, I'm sorry, they hit every single shot over him. Every single shot. Every single shot went over Brook Lopez's head. And he was just holding his arm up to show that he played defense. It wasn't enough, Brook. I'm so sorry. And now I got to give a special shout out, but he doesn't want this shout out. If you know how we do stud of the night when I say the best player from all the games from last night, I think I got to give dud of the night to Darius Garland. Hoodie Garland is rolling in his grave right now. See, if you watch this game, you would think, man, Darius Garland had a good game. 31 minutes. He had 21 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers. He shot 8 for 15 from the field. Okay? If you just look at that, you'd think he had a good game. But see, I watched the games. I watched the full games, right? And what I saw was Darius Garland dancing, doing a stupid-ass dance walk after he hits the 3 after they're up by 13, right? He's doing that stupid-ass walk. Y'all know the celebration I'm talking about. They lose. And then after the game, well, I'm basically playing on 9 toes anyways. My brother in Christ. How long are you going to ride this excuse? How long? Just sit out. Just sit out. How long are we going to do this? You were just fine. You were just fine. Dark, you know all about this being a Cavs fan. You were just fine. You were scared. What is Clyde, or sorry, Walt Frazier say? No, Walt Frazier. What does he say? He's dancing and prancing. He was dancing and prancing on his 9 good toes when you were winning. But then when you lose, what do you say? I'm basically playing on 9 toes anyway. So yeah, that's what it is. Go watch the interview. Go watch the post-game press conference. Go watch it if you don't believe me. There's no way you can front run and dance and show off and flex that you're winning. But then the moment you lose, I only have 9 good toes. Listen, I'm not here discrediting a valid injury, but my brother, you've had this toe shit. You've had this toe shit for over a year and a half. Get it figured out. Why are you still using that as an excuse? Still. And then when they win, what does Darius Garland say? I'm feeling the best I have in a while. Thank you, Dark. Thank you, Twitch stream. I appreciate you guys very, very much. But then when you lose, my toe. Yes, your toe. Yes, your toe. That's the reason why. Yes. So, all in all, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, the Los Angeles Clippers season is over. And it wasn't too long ago, the Los Angeles Clippers started the season 6-21. And I've noticed I don't have anybody backing up the Clippers in what I'm talking about. There's nobody in the Twitch stream. There's nobody in the TikTok that are backing up the Los Angeles Clippers. Nobody. There's nobody backing this team up. And you know what that tells me? Nobody rides for this team, man. Nobody rides for him. Nobody. Bro, I've had Blazers fans in here ride for the Blazers. I don't think I've had a Jazz fan in here yet. But no, bro, for God's sake, I have a Pelicans fan. I have a Pelicans fan. And I don't have a Clippers fan. You know what that tells you, right? They're not a likable team. They're not a likable owner. They're not a likable franchise. People don't like them. And you know what? I was preying on their downfall after what they did to Chris Paul. I wanted to enjoy Chris Paul's final season. And unfortunately, that's what happens. Now, real quick, before we move on to the preview of these next playing games, right? I do have to come out and say, this is not a good look for the Los Angeles Clippers. You know, they made their comeback. Chris Paul posted on his Instagram story. You guys know the meme that I'm referring to, but, you know, had to come to the funeral just to make sure that my biggest hater was dead. He posted that picture on his Instagram story. Hashtag Rip Bozo. But you know what? I saw a very interesting tweet because this might be the end of Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. How will you remember Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers? How will you remember it? Let's go ahead and look at what has happened in Kawhi Leonard's tenure. In 2020, they got eliminated in the second round. In 2021, they got eliminated in the conference finals. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That was the time that Kawhi Leonard got hurt, correct? And Paul George went ballistic, correct? Can you guys correct me if I'm wrong? I believe Kawhi was out in that run. I think he was out in that conference finals run. I think Paul George just went absolutely nutty. Yeah, he got hurt in the second round. Thank you. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch chat. I appreciate it. Let's move on to 2022. They were eliminated in the play-in. Let's move on to 2023. Eliminated in the first round. Let's move on to 2024. They were eliminated in the first round. 2025. They were eliminated in the first round. 2026. Eliminated in the play-in. Well, what do we do after this? What do we do? What happens now? How will we remember Kawhi Leonard's tenure with the Los Angeles Clippers? You know how I'll remember it? I won't. Because 20 years from now, I'll be 48 years old. You know what I'll remember? I'll remember Lob City. They never won anything, but they had an impact. They had a culture. 20 years from now, I'll remember the grit and grind Grizzlies. They made the conference finals. They were fun. They were a culture. 20 years from now, I'm not going to remember Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. I'm not. You know what we will remember from the Clippers? Them trading Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, Nikola Topic, and now another lottery pick this summer. That's what I'll remember the Clippers for. All for Paul George. That's what I'll remember. Because I'll remember what the Clippers could have had versus what they actually had. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now that the Los Angeles Clippers are officially eliminated, their lottery pick, because they'll have one, will not go to the Los Angeles Clippers. That lottery pick will go to none other than the Oklahoma City Thunder. all because of the trade for Paul George. I know I said this is a safe space, but it's not. Not for Clippers fans. Not for Clippers fans. Not for us. Not for us. And I just need to remind you guys, the Mavericks got Cooper Flagg with 1% higher of odds than the Thunder now have for this pick. And it's over. It's over. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we've talked about both games from last night, how about we preview the final two play-in games? How about we do that? How about we do that? You guys want to do that? You guys want to preview it? All right, before we do, TikTok, again, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, be sure to swing up right on into the Twitch stream. It's a much better viewing experience over here, much more community-oriented over here. I'd love for you guys to come through to the Twitch, the Jay-Z Uncut, or the link is in my bio. I'd love to see you guys come through and join our Discord. Come join our watch parties that we do over here. I'd love for you guys to come through. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with the Hornets versus Magic. Now, let's talk about that. And I want to hear what you guys got. What you got? The Hornets or the Magic? The Hornets are favored by 2.5 points. Both of these play-in games are tomorrow, Friday, April 17th. I want to know who you guys got. The favored Hornets or the Orlando Magic. Now, being favored by 2.5 points is basically not being favored at all. That's pretty much dead even. What I'll say is, if you have the Magic winning, God bless you. If you can do me a major favor, if you have the Magic winning, I will help pay for your psychiatric ward visit, because you definitely need an appointment. And that's not me saying that the Magic can't win. That's not me saying that. The Magic can win. It just depends if they want to play basketball. And for the last 2-3 weeks, all season long, they haven't looked like they want to play basketball. They haven't looked like they wanted to play basketball. So I have the Hornets winning. And I guess since I did it for the other games, let's talk about X factors of this game. Of course, I hate to do it again. I hate to put even more pressure on Desmond Bane, but I have to. Desmond Bane, you know what? I can't. Desmond Bane's the best player on the Magic. You know what, chat? I can't believe it's resorted to this. I can't believe it's resorted to this. I said Desmond Bane was going to be the X factor to last night's game. I said if Desmond Bane can score 30 plus, they have a chance at winning. You know what? I've changed my mind. You know who the X factor for the Orlando Magic is? Their number one pick, their super max player, Paolo Banchero. He is the X factor. And to say that a quote unquote superstar has to be your X factor is me saying that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has to be the X factor for the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the championship. Cade Cunningham has to be the X factor for the Detroit Pistons for them to win a championship. Nikola Jokic has to be the X factor for them to win the NBA championship. No, Paolo Banchero has to be the X factor for the Orlando Magic to make it out of the play-in. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he has to be. Paolo, you cannot put up another historically bad night. You have to hit your shots. You have to drive to the hoop. They have nobody to guard you. Nobody can guard you in Charlotte. Nobody. The Magic will have home court advantage, in case you don't know, if you think that helps. Nobody can guard Paolo except for Paolo. He guards himself. I think TikTok just nailed it. I'd love to see you come through to the Twitch stream, homie. That's a great comment. You don't deserve to be in the TikTok. Come through to the Twitch. No, they can't guard Paolo. Paolo is too big, too strong, too tall, and he should be too savvy, but he's not. So the X factor for the Orlando Magic is Paolo. If he can get going, if he can use his 6'11", 270 frame, they'd be fine. We know Desmond Bane's going to play well. We know that. Franz Wagner, we don't even know if he's going to play. We don't know if Franz is going to play. We don't. So if you want to say that both of them are X factors, we can. Both Paolo and Franz are X factors. Straight up. Franz has missed 50 games this year. I don't want to hear anybody say that Paolo has not been healthy this year, all right? For my Magic fans that say, we haven't been healthy. Your star has played 72 games this year. 72. He's eligible for awards. He's been healthy. Franz has not. And that's your excuse. Franz Wagner, if he's playing, needs to play well. Paolo Banchero, if he's playing, will be the X factor to the Orlando Magic, because I think we can all agree. And does anybody disagree that Desmond Bane's been their most consistent player all year? Does anybody disagree? If you do, please show me show me your hands. He's been their most consistent player. Let's go to the other side, ladies and gentlemen. The Charlotte Hornets. Who's their X factor, guys? I have one. It's Miles Bridges. If you guys know anything about me, I will never say good things about such a shit person. Okay? I will never give Miles Bridges credit, but he played great basketball last game. And I've pointed out that when Miles Bridges gets 17, 18 plus, they typically win those games. I will never say one good thing about Miles Bridges, but if I were to pick an X factor, it's him. It's him. And off the bench, I'd say it's Kobe White. Now, I want to pick Con Knippel, but unfortunately for him, his rookie wall has hit. I don't think he's just going to magically turn it on. He could, but I don't see that happening. You know, by now, these college kids are training for NBA teams. My apologies. So if you can get a consistent game out of Con, that's great. But I don't know if that's possible. LaMelo can't have that bad of a game. And you know what's crazy? I said it was that bad of a game, but he had an incredible game. It was just inefficient. You know, I would want Cade Cunningham to do exactly what LaMelo Ball did that game. Empty the fucking clip, man. If nobody else is hitting, I want you to empty the clip. LaMelo won them LaMelo lost them that game, but he won them that game. We saw it. He lost in the game, but he won them the game. He emptied the clip, sure, but nobody else wanted to shoot. You guys saw, everybody was pump faking, nobody wanted to shoot. So yeah, that's my honest opinion on what I think. I think the Hornets are going to win this game. I think the offensive firepower is too much for the Magic, and I'll get into it a little bit more. I see you asking for your thoughts on Donovan Clingan. He's a great player. Yeah, he's gonna be good, Mr. G. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. Now let's talk about real quick the Orlando Magic. They are the Pistons, except they don't play defense anymore, and they're worse at scoring than the Pistons. So for everybody that thinks the Magic are like the Pistons, they're nowhere near the Pistons. They do everything worse than what the Pistons do great. Now, I feel like we have to talk about this very quickly before we move on to the Warriors-Suns game. Since the winner of this game will be playing the Detroit Pistons, coming from a Pistons fan, what series do I believe will be easier? I believe the Orlando Magic would be easier, but I don't want to play the Orlando Magic. There's two reasons why I prefer to play the Charlotte Hornets as a Pistons fan. One, they would kill the Hornets. They've killed them all year. They'd kill the Hornets, and I think it'd be fun for everybody to watch. The Hornets are a highlight reel team. The Pistons are a cut-your-throat, crazy defense. And yeah, they don't have anybody for Duren. They don't have anybody for Cade. LaMelo's a cone. He's one of the worst defending point guards in the NBA. And Diabate can't guard Jalen Duren. The other reason I want them to play the Hornets is a little bit selfish. I just want to drive to Charlotte and watch my Pistons play. So those are my two reasons why I prefer the Pistons to verse the Hornets. I want to play the Hornets. By the way, I just have to take a quick second and acknowledge what's happening in the TikTok. I see a lot of guys fighting in the TikTok, and they've been fighting for the last 15 minutes in there. Guys, it is 9:40 in the morning. 9:40 in the morning. Why are you arguing with each other? Get out of that stream and come through to the Twitch stream and talk with real educated ball knowers. All right, guys? I see you guys just arguing in the TikTok, fighting. They're saying, hold on, the reason why they're arguing, they're saying Pods had a bad game. You had a great game. Pods had a great, bro. This is Brandon Pajensky. We're talking. He had a great game last night. Nobody's gonna. That's what y'all are arguing about on a Thursday morning. That's what you guys are arguing about. Kyra, guys, come through to the Twitch stream. Shane, come through. Taco, RKB, come through to the Twitch stream. Come join the basketball knowers, man. Come join the basketball knowers. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. We'd love to have you. So, yeah, man, all in all, I got the Hornets beating the Magic. But. That's not to say the Magic can't win. They could just turn it on. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. The lady commentator as well, Dark, she kept saying Guy Santos. Did anybody else hear that? Lady, listen to what Kevin Harlan's saying. It's Guy. How the fuck do you not know? Excuse my French. How the fuck do you not know how to pronounce this guy's name? It's Guy. It's Guy Santos. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think most of you guys said, oh, yeah. That's another thing. Tobias Harris turns into prime Carmelo Anthony against the Charlotte Hornets and the Orlando Magic. Oh, was that Candace Parker? Damn, that's tough. All right, guys, let's go ahead. I think everybody gave their opinions on who they believe will win. Let's go ahead and look at, can somebody send Mr. G both of my YouTube links? We have a podcast YouTube channel as well as our documentary YouTube channel. Actually, this is a great question before we move on. Do you think Kalkbrenner would be better defensively against the Pistons? No, he's not strong enough. He's just simply not strong enough. No, they don't have it. They don't have an answer for Jalen Duren. They don't. Okay, guys, now I want your opinion on this next matchup. Who you got? The Suns versus the Warriors. Who do you got? Now, the books have the Suns favored by 2.5. The Suns are favored by 2.5. Who do you guys believe is going to win this game? The Suns or Warriors? Here's the thing, man. The game we just watched last night by the Warriors was the best game the Warriors have ever played as a unit all season long. That was the best game they've ever played. The best. So I get low-key scared by saying that and seeing that because they needed the best game from the Warriors all season long. Ever since Jimmy Butler went down. They need that to win again. Do the Warriors have one more game like that? Do they have one more game where Tingus goes crazy, Al Horford goes crazy, Curry goes crazy? Curry didn't even have that good of a game, all things considered. Draymond locks up. Like, do we see that one more time? Now, I'll be honest, everybody. Selfishly, I'm rooting for the Warriors to win. I just want to see Curry in the playoffs one more time. Even though Dort will probably rip his shins off, I want to see Curry in the playoffs again. I want to see it. And that's the big thing that Tyler just said in the TikTok as well. Man, TikTok is low-key spinning with it. TikTok, come to the Twitch stream, guys. This guy actually just point out something really major. That starting lineup we saw from the Warriors last night was only the second time they've used that lineup. The second time they've used that lineup. Can you believe that? And they won. Kaysen Wallace and Lou Dort chasing around Curry, man. I don't know, bro. Listen, it'll probably be a 4-game sweep. I think maybe Curry can miraculously take you to 1. But yeah, I don't see that series going more than 5 games for either of these teams. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. As far as this game goes, I think the Warriors might get it done. I think if they play like how they just did last night, I think the Warriors will get it done. I think they will. Pablar, thank you so much for the major follow on Twitch. Welcome on in, bro. Yeah, I think either way, whoever wins this game, it's Thunder in 5. In fact, if it's against the Suns, it might be... Yeah, the Suns do match up against OKC better, but if they don't have Grayson Allens and Dylan Brooks playing the way he was all season, it's going to be a 4-game, maybe 5-game sweep at best. The Suns play a great, scrappy defense, and I love watching the Suns play. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll go with the Warriors winning this game. But all in all, it's to play the Thunder. You know what I mean? Yeah, and by the way, I feel like a lot of people don't know what a gentleman's sweep is. Do you guys know what a gentleman's sweep is? I'm very curious because I see people say it all the time, and I don't think you know what a gentleman's sweep actually is. Do you know what that is? Because everyone says it. It's not 4-1. No, it's not. It's not. See, the new generation. No, it's not. The new generation fucked it up. It's not a 4-1. No, it's not just 4-1. It's not just 4-1. It's not. The way it works, here's how the gentleman's sweep works. Let's just use an example. Yes, 3-0, you let them win, and then 4-1. Precisely. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. That is how it works. So let's just use the Thunder and let's just use the since it's a series, the Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers. If the Celtics go up 3-0, they'll let the 76ers win game 4, and then they'll beat them in game 5. That is how the gentleman's sweep was, that's how it was born. That's how it was created. Now, do you guys know what the douchebag sweep is? Now that you know the proper gentleman's sweep, do you know what the douchebag sweep is? Because that one's funny. That one's really funny. And I'm sure you guys can know by now what the douchebag sweep is. The douchebag sweep is so the Celtics let the 76ers win game 1, and then the Celtics win the next 4 games. That's the douchebag sweep. It's like, oh boy, we got a chance, and then you get swept. Yes, correct. 0-1, then 4-0. Correct. Yes. Yes. I see. Now we all learned something today. I'd like to give some massive shout outs because a bunch of legends just came through to the Twitch stream. Like a lot of guys. Mr. G, thank you. Pablar, Antisocial, Terrio, No Love, Pablo, and Sheed. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate you guys so very much. Can we get a Discord link sent in here? That's where we host watch parties and where my community and I hang out when we're not live. So be sure to join the Discord, guys. That's where I talk with my community all day, every day. That's where we host watch parties. On top of that, we do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will reach into my pocket and gift you a $5 subscription. Okay? If you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, if you don't like ads, if you watch 3 in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription. So thank you to everybody just showing up to the Twitch. Much love, everybody. All right, so let's continue with this matchup. I think I see the Warriors winning. I do. So now let's talk about hypotheticals with the Thunder versus one of these teams, right? I think either or, it's going to be a 4 or 5 game sweep. I think we can all agree. Does anybody disagree? Does anybody genuinely believe that the Golden State Warriors, without Jimmy Butler, with this current team, or the Phoenix Suns have a chance at maybe winning 2 against the Thunder? Does anybody think that? Because if they do, we got to have that conversation. We got to actually talk about that. TikTok is saying Warriors in 7, and that's why they are in the TikTok and not the Twitch stream. That's why, they said Curry would take it to 6. All right. So TikTok is they're the only people that think Golden State can beat the Oklahomas. I was just talking about 2 or 3 games. They're talking about, nah, fuck it. They're going to beat them in the opposite direction. Suns in 7. See, now, yeah, you're a Pistons fan. I know you're lying. Warriors genuinely have a chance if Curry's on the floor. And I love that comment. Because I think, yeah, they could have a bunch of close games. I agree. Or it could look very scary, man. It could look very scary. I think you got 1 to 2 close ones. Yeah, I agree. Now, let's talk X factors for this game, okay? My X factor for the Suns game, I got to be honest, it's Jalen Green. If he can do what he just did in the last game, but everybody else can help, they win this game. Hopefully shoot better from the field. I think Jalen Green is my X factor for this game. He's going to jack up 25 shots regardless of the outcome. They're going to have to focus defensively, man, because they have nobody for Tingus Pingus. If Tingus Pingus plays like how he just did, then, yeah, the Warriors are going to win this. My X factor for the Warriors, guys, is on the other side. It's Tingus Pingus. Bro, this guy just dropped 20 points and was being a point center, point forward. He was going crazy. This could be a revenge game for Jalen Green after last year's playoff series. It could be a Curry masterpiece or Tingus Pingus. I think Anthony Melton's going to have a decent game. I don't know, man. You just had perfect games from Guy Santos, Tingus Pingus, and Al Horford. I don't know if you can get that back-to-back. I just don't know. Man. I don't know. I don't know if you can get back-to-back, like, seasonal games from these two guys, man. I just don't know. I don't know. It should be a fun game. I'm excited for it. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. Otherwise, we're just going to beat this topic into the ground. Hopefully, Grayson Allen will be back. Let's finish the show off with our stud of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, there weren't that many, because D-Book should not be an X factor. That's why I don't have Devin Booker as the X factor. He should show up. You should not have to wonder if he's going to show up. If he's being paid $72 million, he should show up. The X factor is never the best player on a team. If it is, then that team is lost. The only X factor that I pointed out that is the star of that team is Paolo Banchero, and that's because he's been horrible. So that's why he's the X factor for the Orlando Magic, because Desmond Bane's been far more consistent all year long. All right, guys, my stud of the night, it's pretty easy. There are only 2 games to pick from. My stud of the night's got to be Steph Curry. He didn't even have that good of a game, if we're being honest. But my stud of the night is Steph Curry, and he went on last night for 36 minutes, dropped 35 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, plus 9. He shot 12 for 23 from the field and a big 7 for 12 from deep. Curry showed that he can still do it, even though he's not fully healthy. He's missed, months out of the season, and yet he still came in, won them the most important game of the season, and now they have a chance at making it into the playoffs. So Steph Curry is definitely my stud of the night. Now, guys, remember, tomorrow's episode is going to be super, super fun. Yeah, Steve Kerr did say his starters aren't playing 32 minutes. And, well, Draymond Green played 35, Gee played 32, Pods played 41, which is so funny to me, and Curry played 36. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's episode is going to be a banger. We are going to be talking about every series and my predictions and my outcomes and how many games, okay? We're going to be talking about every series, whether it's Thunder and Pistons about their hypothetical matchups, because the game won't have happened yet. Celtics 76ers, Spurs Blazers, Wolves Nuggets, Rockets Lakers, Cavs Raptors, Knicks Hawks. We're going to be talking about all of them, all right? So do not miss tomorrow's episode. And if you do miss it live, don't forget, chat !point podcast into the Twitch stream. You can watch these back on our podcast YouTube channel, on our Spotify channel, on our Apple channel. So wherever you guys want to watch or listen, they're all there. And you guys know we do these live Monday through Friday. At what time? 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Twitch chat, stick around for just one moment. Stick around for a minute. Twitch chat, we're not leaving yet. TikTok, YouTube, if you guys did enjoy today's episode, be sure to swing right onto the Twitch stream, because we are still live, ladies and gentlemen. No basketball tonight, so we got plenty to talk about tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, TikTok, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream, because we are still live. We are still live on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching / listening. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today, man.